Hey everybody, it's time. I don't know if it's much anticipated or not, but this is our Stratville 9 game against the Skiddy Marks here at History Maker Baseball, where we've created a team of players from the Strat community or the YouTube community. Not necessarily Strat, could be Apple or other games, but we have a 25-man roster, and we're going to get going here with the first game. This is the first game of a doubleheader. The second game, we will be taking on the Baltimore Orioles from Camden Yards. So we'll get in Mr. Peabody's Wayback Machine so that we can fast travel from Skiddy, Kansas, up to Baltimore, Maryland. So sit back and relax and get ready for History Maker Baseball. Hopefully everybody saw the video I did yesterday to kind of, for those who are not familiar with the game, hopefully it gave you a little bit of insight into the game itself. And as I also said earlier, there's only 9 positions on a team, starting positions on a team, and we had, I believe, 17 players, not counting pitchers. So not everyone could start. So if you didn't start this game, don't sweat it. You will be starting against Baltimore. And what I may do, depending on how the game goes, what I may do is treat this like an all-star game, and about the 6th inning or so, swap out some guys. So we'll see how it goes. I'll play it by ear. But right now, we are ready for what at first was kind of just a rib on my part from a chat in Tenacious Strats, one of his videos talking about Stratomatic, if anybody had bought a personalized card, and then just on a whim, I said, well, hey, we can make our own cards on History Maker Baseball, and then I got such a good response, went ahead and went with it. So we are right now at, and let me fix hopefully there we go. Get a little better, a little clearer thing here. We are at Pimlico Park, and as you can see, Pimlico Park plays small, and there's that little caveat here that says if you're a semi-home run king, this ballpark is so small it will turn you into a regular home run king. You do not need the help. You will not need the help of a decide or die. It's going to be automatic. So, and if I remember correctly, with some of these player cards I created, there are several semi-home run kings in here, so that could help us out. So let's go ahead and get going. I've already went through the starting lineups in the video yesterday, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. I'll just run through them real quickly, but I'm not going to worry about going through the cards necessarily. So let's look at our score sheet. We've got Jerry Ball. We've got Richard Byer. We've got Earl Shamblin, otherwise known as Tabletop Baseball. We've got Espo from Espo Strat. We have Earl Reed, otherwise known as Tenacious Strat. We have Randall Mark in left field. We have Ron Bates at second. We have Mr. Utah Mike Bowes catching. And we have Paul Wisham at short. And our pitcher is Mr. Mark Dykesorn. The H is silent, he told me. So it's Dykesorn is how it's pronounced. And then for the Skiddy Marks, we have Griffiths at second, Brandon at first, Steiner center field, Gallus at DH, Wilkinson at third, McGrain catching, Mayoshi in left, Reyna in right, and Nelson at short. So we've also got our umpires, and I'll kind of pan over here real quickly and see that we have Randy Moreau as our home plate umpire. We have Gary Riffberger at first. We have Larry Hildebrand at second. And we have Chris Indrizi at third. And you can see we got a spot here for our backups for our team and the backups for the Skiddy Marks. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this chart to the side to give us more room. And when umpire results are needed, we will check back in and pull that in. But for right now, I want to make more room for myself. I'm also going to put the ballpark card over there to get that out of the way as well. The pitcher that will be on the mound for the Skiddy Marks will be Donnie Lee Gross. He's got semi-star quality with a flash. And leading off for the Stratville 9 in this inaugural game will be Mr. Jerry Ball. And Jerry Ball is a semi-champion, eager qualities. He's also a gold fielder, active runner, and an icon. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll our dice, and I'm going to make room on the board here to do that. And then we'll check the book and see how Jerry does against Donnie Lee Gross. This is the inaugural pitch of our Stratville 9 against the Skiddy Marks. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Game 2 to follow against the Orioles. And the first pitch is a 1, 3, and a 6 with a blank decider die. So 1, 3, 6. Let's check our results in the book. 1, 3, 6. Ask, is the pitcher an ace? No, Donnie Lee Gross is a semi-star and flash, but he's not an ace. So we skip that result and go to the next result. And it says, is the batter whiffer or cold? Well, Jerry Ball is not a whiffer, and it's his first at bat, so he can't be cold. Because there's an option you can roll to make somebody hot and cold before the game starts. I didn't want to do that just in a one-game runoff. So we're going to eschew that and say that's false. So our first result takes us to infield drama. So we're going to check infield drama, and what that does is it's going to test the fielding of one of the infielders on the Skiddy Marks. And what we use is we only use 2 of the dice, read them lowest to highest, and we also roll the decider die just in case somebody has a semi-gold or semi-iron quality. So we'll roll and see what happens here. We get a 3-4. So a 3-4 on infield drama asks, is the third baseman gold? Well, the third baseman for Skiddy Marks is Wilkinson, and he is neutral in his fielding, so he is not gold. He is not gold. Had he been gold, he would have made a diving stop of a grounder and made a throw out. But since he's not gold, it's a base hit. So Jerry Ball has started off the Stratville 9 in fine fashion with a leadoff single. And now that brings up the number 2 hitter, Richard Byer. And Richard Byer steps to the plate. He is a semi-hero and a semi-whiffer. Now we could have lots of options here. We could try to steal with Jerry, or we could bunt Jerry over to second, or we could let Richard try to swing away. I'm more in favor of letting Richard swing away, so that's what we're going to do, right or wrong. So let's see what Richard can do against Donnie Lee Gross. We have a 2, a 5, and a 6. So we go to our board, 2, 5, 6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, Donnie Lee Gross is not a struggler. To be a struggler, you have to give up 3 consecutive base runners in a row via either walk or hit. And obviously, second batter of the game, so he's not a struggler, so he doesn't walk. Then it asks, is the batter champion or patient? Well, Richard, unfortunately, is not a champion, nor is he patient, so we skip that. He's not champion or patient. So we're back to infield drama again. Look at that, 2 plays in a row, 2 infield dramas in a row. All right, so we go where the book takes us. Infield drama, same routine. And we get a 2-3. All right, 2-3 for infield drama. Second baseman, iron. Second baseman for them is Griffiths. He's actually semi-gold, so he's not iron. If he had been iron, he would have bobbled the ball for an error. Otherwise, it's a routine ground out. And a routine ground out, and the way you determine base running after the ground out is by the lead die, which in this case is a 2. So we go to our chart, our base running chart. Number 2, it says fielder's choice on ground outs. So basically, that's like a ground ball B in Strat. It's a force play. Richard Byer is going to reach on the fielder's choice. Jerry, unfortunately, is out 4-6 for out number 1. So almost no harm, no foul. We just don't have a fast runner on the bases now like we had before. So maybe I made a mistake there. We shall see. It comes back to bite us. All right, next up is Tabletop Baseball's Earl Shamblin. And his card is loaded. He's a semi-hero, semi-champion with a home run king. So let's see what he can do against Donnie Lee Gross. It's a 1, 2, and a 6. A 1, 2, and a 6 asks, is the pitcher fresh? Now, I didn't really talk about this yesterday. Freshness qualities in this game, starters are fresh automatically from innings 1 to 3. When they get to innings 4, 5, and 6, they are what is known as semi-fresh. And when they're semi-fresh, you roll the decider die to determine whether they're fresh or not. But obviously in the first inning, they are fresh. So that is a line out to second base. So Earl got into one, but lined it right to Griffiths at second for out number 2. And there's 2 away for Espo Strat. So we'll see if Espo, and unfortunately Espo, there are no super advanced rules in History Maker Baseball. It's pretty much just one rule for everything, no matter, there are no levels. It's pretty much, the only real levels they have is called Delta ratings, and I don't do that. So Not even familiar with that, so I'll just leave that alone. All right, here's Espo. We get a 2-3-6. So we go to 2-3-6, and it says, or it asks, does the pitcher have double control? No, Donnie Lee Gross does not even have control, much less double control, so it's not going to be a ground out. If he had double control, he would get 2 outs in one play. There'd be a ground out to the pitcher, followed by a ground out to the shortstop, but that's not the case. Is the pitcher batting? No, last time I checked, Espo is not a pitcher, so he doesn't strike out, but instead he walks. So Espo draws a base on balls, 2 out base on balls. That will move Richard Byer up to second base. And now they're in scoring position. Table is set for tenacious Strat, Earl Reed. See how tenacious he is with this at bat against Donnie Lee Gross. Our roll is a 1-3-3. All right, a 1-3-3. That's the thing I was talking about yesterday with the platoon thing. That's actually blank on the original book, so we just ignore that. Is he a slugger? Earl Reed is a hero and eager, but he's not a slugger. Had he been a slugger, that would have been a home run. Instead, he's going to fly to left. So, unfortunately for Earl, it was warning track power, and he flies out to left field to end the top of the first. And the Stratville 9 get a couple of runners on, but can't quite seal the deal. And after half an inning, it's no score with the Skiddy Marks coming to bat, and Nick Griffiths steps to the plate. I'll hold these so I can get more room to roll the dice here. Nick Griffiths against Mark Dykeshorn. All right, so 1-2-5. 1-2-5 asks, is he a struggler? No, Dykeshorn's certainly not a struggler because we just started. Then it asks, is the batter patient? 1-2-5. Is Griffiths patient? No, he's not. So he's not patient. So therefore, he will ground out to third. Now there is this little thumb here, and that thumb means if he's a whiffer that he would strike out, and that would override this result. He is not a whiffer, so the ground out will stand. It's a ground out to our third baseman, Earl Reed. So tenacious makes the 5-3 put out to one Earl to the other because he threw it over to Earl Shamblin at first. So both Earls collaborate on that out. And there's one away for Jude Brannon. And we get a 1-1-2. 1-1-2 asks, does the pitcher have flash? You know what? Mark Dykeshorn is semi-flash. However, the decide or die let him down. It's blank, so he's not flash. So he does not strike out Jude Brannon. So now we go to the next result. Is Jude a sad sack? Jude is not a sad sack. So therefore it says check with scorer. So there's a micro chart on the next page of the booklet that says check with scorer. It's a micro chart scorer. And what we're looking at is it's either going to be an infield hit or an error on one of our infielders. And we roll 1d6 and then refer to the chart. So we'll roll the d6. That's a 1. So a 1 says base hit off the glove of the shortstop. So Jude Brannon hit it hard. Paul Wisham made a dive for it, but wasn't able to fully haul it in. He knocked it down, but not in time as even the stoic running Jude Brannon was able to beat that out. So he's aboard with 1 out for Tom Steiner, the center fielder. And we get a 2-4-5. So let me go back to our main page of our book. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Again, that's a platoon thing, so that's really blank there. So we go straight to the batter card. It's asking, is he a hero? You know what? Tom Steiner is a hero. He has the hero quality. So therefore, it's a single to left field. And single to left field says runner advances 1 base on singles. So it's a single with 1 star if you want to use Stratomatic terminology. So it's a base hit, and the Skiddy Marks now have something going here in the bottom of the first. Runners at first and second. 1 away for the cleanup hitter, DH Toby Gallus. And Stratville 9 could certainly use a double play right here. Lead die 1 might help. 1-4-6. 1-4-6. Does the pitcher have flash? Again, the side or die is going to let us down because Mark has semi-flash. The side or die says no. So we got let down by that. Is the batter a champion? Well, fortunately, he's not a champion. He does not have that quality. So we skip over to ground out to second, which is good because it's a double play. That's what we're looking for. So We get a 4-6-3 double play. Nicely turned out there by the combination of Bates and Wisham. Sounds like a law firm. But they turned the double play, get us out of the inning, and we've got no score after one inning here at Pimlico Park. All right, now we're ready to go with top of the second, and Randall Mark steps to the plate. I did confirm that is the correct order for his name, so want to make sure I got that right, Randall. And the first pitch here against Donnie Lee Gross, 3-5-6. Now 3-5-6, I explained this a little bit yesterday for those who don't know. That is the one check in this game that checks lefty-righty splits. It's the only check. Donnie Lee Gross is a right-handed pitcher. Fortunately for us, Randall Mark is a lefty batter. So that means that on this 3-5-6 check, they are not the same, so we skip that. And we go to the next check, utility or sad sack. Well, Randall is none of those, so therefore he's going to get a single down the first base line. So since he's left-handed, it goes down the first base line. If he's been right-handed, been third base line. So Randall starts us off with a leadoff single. Good sign there. And now that will bring up our next batter, second baseman Ron Bates. Now I'm wondering if I should bunt because last time it didn't work when I didn't bunt. So what I want to do here, I'm going to bunt. All right, so what we do on our bunt, the chart here, there's a chart right here where my finger is. You roll the one die. If it's a 1, if it comes up a 1, then Ron will beat it out for a bunt base hit. If it's a 2, 3, 4, or 5, this sacrifice will be successful. If we roll a 6, then we have to roll again, and there's a possibility of a pop-out double play, a strikeout, and so forth. So really, we're looking for anything other than a 6 will be okay. And it's a 1. He actually beat it out for a base hit. So how about that? Trying to give himself up, Ron Bates got a bunt base hit. So that puts runners at first and second with nobody out. And we got something going here. That'll bring up Mike Bowes. Now, normally I'd have a bunt again, but he's a semi-champion, a semi-slugger, so I'm not going to take the bat out of his hands. That would be kind of foolish. We'll risk the double play to see if we can get a big knock here. So let's see what we get. We get a 2-3-4, and I think that's plate drama, but let me double check it. 2-3-4, runners on base. Yes, there are. So we got plate drama. So we're going to the plate drama chart, and the umpires could come into play here. In fact, they usually do on plate drama results. We're going to roll 2 dice and check this plate drama chart. So plate drama, the catcher for the Skiddy Marks is McGrain, and he is neutral in his fielding. We got a 2-6. So a 2-6 says catcher iron. No, he's not iron. If he was, it would be a pass ball. Otherwise, right down the pipe, catcher gloves at strike, and that strike is in orange. That means we go to the umpire chart. So we're going to see what the umpires have to say. There is an umpire chart, and it's based on base running situations. And in our case, we have runners at first and second. So here we go, runners on first and second, and we're going to use this umpire chart, rolling 2 dice plus the decider. And it's going to call on one of the umpires, so we'll see who it is. The roll is a 1-5. 1-5 says respected umpire at home. Randy Moreau is the home plate umpire. He is semi-questionable. He is not respected. So with that result of a 1-5, the respected umpire at home, double runner on second scores, runner on first thrown out at home. Other umpires both score. So how about that? So he's not respected. So it looks like that Mr. Bates is going to sneak in under the tag that he may have been out, but the umpire calls him safe because he's not respected. And Mr. Utah Mike has just doubled in 2 runs, and the Stratville 9 take a 2-0 lead against the Skiddy Marks. So excellent option there not to bunt, as we took advantage of the power, and Mr. Utah Mike took care of it. A 2-run double, and we lead 2-0. There's still nobody out. And now the pitcher, Donnie Lee Gross, is now what's called a semi-struggler because he has given up 3 consecutive hits. So he's a semi-struggler right now. He will be that way until he gets an out. Once he gets an out, he'll go back to his normal status. Here's Paul Wisham. See what he can do. It's a 2-2-4. 2-2-4. So 2-2-4. 2-2-4. Pitching at home. That's an advantage. That's the one place on the board the home team gets the advantage. And in this case, the Skiddy Marks are at home. So unfortunately, Paul, you're going to pop to short. You got disadvantaged by playing on the road. But we roll with that. We play on the road. We'll take some of the disadvantages and try to overcome them. So a pop out there for one away. So now Donnie Lee Gross is no longer a semi-struggler. Back to the top of the order, and Jerry Ball, he singled his first time up. It's a 2-3-4. That's more plate drama because 2-3-4 is that plate drama result. So we're going to roll for plate drama. And again, the catcher is neutral. And we get a 2-6. So a 2-6 on plate drama, as I flip back to this. Plate drama. A 2-6 says catcher iron. Again, it's the same result we had before. It's a strike, and we go to the umpire chart. But this time, it's just a runner on second base. That's the result we're going to go for, runner on second base, because that's our situation. And we're going to roll the 2 dice plus the decider and see what the umpires have to say. It's a 4-5, this time with the dot. So a 4-5 asks, is it a strict umpire at first? No, our umpire, Gary Riffberger, is respected, but he's not strict. If he was strict, batter out at first despite late throw. Other umpires call batter safe, runners hold. So it looks like there's a little, you kind of have, on some of these results, you kind of have to kind of fill the gaps in. So what I'm going to say is Jerry hit a nubber to the pitcher, and that forced Mr. Utah Mike to have to hold at second because he didn't know what was going to go on. But then while the pitcher was debating what to do, Jerry, with his speed, beat it out. So that's an infield hit, but just no base running advancement. Kind of a quirky play, but that's what we have to do because sometimes this book doesn't give you exact results. You have to kind of, like I said, sometimes fill in the gap, use your imagination, do what you think is realistic. So that's what I did, right or wrong. So here now is Richard Beyer, 2 on, 1 out. And we get a 5-5-6. The high numbers sometimes can be good. So we go over here to 5-5-6. 5-5-6 asks, is the pitcher an ace? No, we've already said he's not an ace. Is the batter a sad sack? Richard Beyer is not a sad sack. Therefore, he's going to double to right field. He's going to double to right field, and runners score on doubles. So that's a 2-run double again, the second 2-run double of the inning, as Richard Beyer puts one in the gap, and that will score Mr. Utah Mike and Jerry Ball. And we now have a 4-0 lead over the Skiddy Marks, and the Skiddy Marks manager may be going to his bullpen shortly to get some activity. Here's Tabletop Earl Shamblin from Tabletop Baseball, 1-2-5. So we go to 1-2-5, and it says, is he a struggler? No, he's not a struggler because he had that 1 out in between all these hits, so he's not a struggler. If he had been a struggler, it would have been a home run for Earl, but unfortunately it was not. Is Earl patient? No, Earl is not patient. So we've got a ground out to third unless he's a whiffer. He is a semi-whiffer, and the decider die says he's a whiffer, so therefore it's a strikeout. So Earl goes down on strikes for out number 2. Sorry about that, Earl. Decider die kind of let you down there. All right, let's go to Espo with a chance. Espo walked his first time up. This time it's a 3-4-6. 3-4-6, again, that's just a platoon thing I was working on, so it's really blank in the book. Is he eager? Earl is semi-eager. Or Espo, I should say. Or Espo is semi-eager. Decider die says he's eager. So back to the result of 3-4-6. An eager batter will fly out to center field. So Espo not willing to wait for his pitch. He was hacking. And he flies to center to end the inning. But the Stratville 9 put up 4 runs here in the top of the second and given Mr. Mark Dykeshorn a 4-run lead to protect. It is 4-0 as we start the bottom of the second. And here's Mo Wilkinson, third baseman. And we get a 2-3-4. That's a runners on base plate drama, but there are no runners on base, so we skip that result. Is he a hot batter? No, he's neutral. So therefore, he's going to pop out to third. So it's a pop out to third for one away. And the batter gets to be a hot batter either by a pregame designation or if his last at bat he got a hit and we're past the 6th inning or 5th inning. I don't want to get too detailed in that, but that's how you get to be a hot batter. Here is Don McGrain, catcher. It's a 2-2-6. 2-2-6. Batter hit by pitch. Well, the decider die determines that. And the decider die being a dot, that means that Mark let one get away a little bit and plunked Mr. McGrain. Maybe it gives him a migraine headache. So there's one runner on, and here is Naruto Mayoshi, the left fielder. It's a 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Again, that's a blank result. Is he eager or sad sack? He is neither. So we keep going. He's not eager or sad sack, so he's going to draw a walk. So he will walk. So we got a hit batter and a walk. So without the benefit of a hit, the Skiddy Marks have put 2 runners on with 1 out. And Mose Reyna, the right fielder, steps to the plate. And we get a 5-6-6. 5-6-6 is the pitcher Wild. No, he's got control, so he's definitely not Wild. Does the batter have a good eye? Reyna does not have a good eye. So therefore, it's a strikeout. So that is a strikeout, and if you notice, that result is in blue. So when the result is in blue, the very next at bat goes to this blue baseball right now chart, and it's based on what the previous plate appearance and previous batter faced for pitcher happened. Since Mark struck out Reyna, he is now semi-hot. Travis Nelson is neutral because he hasn't batted yet. So we've got a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. So we have the advantage on this right now chart, but it's blank, so they're both neutral. So it's 4-5 for neutral. Cold batter. No, he's not cold. If he was, he would strike out. Otherwise, it's a ground out to first. And on a lead die of 4, that's going to advance. Actually, that's the third out, so it doesn't matter. So he's going to ground out, but again, it doesn't tell you where he grounds out. And I know in the booklet there's a thing that says the dice will tell you, but I forgot what that was off the top of my head. So I'm just going to say he grounds to Mr. Paul Wisham at short, and we're going to end the inning. No damage done. We got 2 runners on via a walk and a hit batsman, but no damage done. And after 2 complete, the Stratville 9 still hang on to a 4-0 lead. Here is Tenacious Strat Earl, and we get a 1-2-4. So we'll check the book for 1-2-4. 1-2-4, control. Donnie Lee Gross is not a control pitcher, so we skip that. Is he eager? Yes, he is. And again, his eagerness has cost him a hit. So Espo being eager cost him, and Earl Tenacious Strat being eager cost him. He will pop it up to first for 1 away. And that brings up Randall Mark, who had a big double. I'm sorry, he had a single to lead off the bottom of the second, or top of the second. Got the rally started. 1-2-3. 1-2-3 asks, is he both flash and fresh? Well, he's still fresh because we're in the 3rd inning, and he does have the flash quality. So yes, that is true. He is both flash and fresh. Therefore, it is a strikeout. So out number 2. So Randall strikes out. And that brings up Ron Bates. 2 outs, bases empty. And we have a 1-3-6. 1-3-6, is he an ace? No. Is the batter whiffer or cold? He is neither. So we've got infield drama again. So we're back again. It's about the 3rd time we're on an infield drama result. So we're going to check the fielding prowess of the Skiddy Marks infielders and see what happens. We get a 1-2. 1-2 says shortstop iron. Well, the shortstop is Nelson. He is neutral. So he's not iron. So therefore, instead of a 2-base error, it's still going to be a 1-base error. So it's still going to be an E6. E6 as Nelson booted it, but the difference was if he was iron, he would have thrown the ball away for a 2-base error. So Ron Bates reaches on the error, And now here comes Mr. Utah Mike. Had that big double his first time up. So now we're on 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Iron catcher. No, the catcher is neutral. He's not iron. So we skip that check. Does he have a good eye? Does Mike Bowes have a good eye? No, he does not. So unfortunately, Mike's going to strike out. So that's going to end the inning. Didn't really get anything done that inning, but we still maintain a 4-0 lead. That result was in blue, so what we will do is for the very first batter of the next inning, we will be going to the right now chart. So, Nick Griffiths, the leadoff hitter for the Skiddy Marks, he grounded out his first time up, so he is neutral. But, Nelson grounded out against Mark Dykeshorn. So they're both neutral. You would have to have strikeouts or hits to be cold or hot. So it's neutral against neutral. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. So many words. 3-6. Cold pitcher. No, he's neutral. He's not cold. If he was cold, then it would be a driving single past third base. Since he's not cold, it's a pop out to the catcher. So a pop out to Mr. Utah Mike Bowes. And Nick Griffiths is out of there for the first out. That'll bring up Jude Brannon. He singled his first time up. It's a 1-5-6. 1-5-6. And this is a lot easier to do when you're not doing recording. You can have the book laid out the way you want. 1-5-6. I'm trying to make sure everything shows correctly. 1-5-6 is blank for the pitcher. It's asking, is the batter a whiffer? You know what? Jude Brannon is a whiffer, so he will strike out. So Mark Dykeshorn gets the K. That's the second K of the game. And that'll bring up, with 2 outs and the bases empty, Tom Steiner. Steiner, 1-2-5. 1-2-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is Steiner patient? No, he's actually eager. So we get a ground ball to third base unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. Decider says he's a whiffer, so another K, as Mark put one in there and put the K on Mr. Steiner. And after 3 complete, here at Pimlico Park, it is the Stratville 9-4 and the Skiddy Marks nothing. All right, Paul Wisham will lead off for us here in the top of the 4th. And now Donnie Lee Gross and Mark Dykeshorn are both semi-fresh because we're in the 4th inning. We got a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No, he's not wild, so we skip that result. Is the batter eager? Paul Wisham is semi-eager. Decider says he is eager. But that's going to give him a single through shortstop. So being eager this time paid off as Paul Wisham reached out and stroked one for a base hit to lead off the inning. And we've had leadoff singles in all but the 3rd inning. So 3 out of 4 innings we've had that. Here's Jerry Ball, top of the order. He's 2 for 2. 1-5-6. 1-5-6. Blank there. Is he a whiffer? No, he's not. So we have outfield drama. So our first chance at outfield drama. We'll check the outfielders for the Skiddy Marks and see what happens. And we get a 3-5. 3-5 says left fielder gold. Their left fielder is Mayoshi. He is not gold. He's neutral. So if he was gold, he would make a looping fly ball catch. Since he's not, it's a looping fly ball that drops into the gap for a double. So how about that? Jerry Ball put one in the gap. 3 for 3, a double. And that result was in purple. It's maybe hard to see on here, but it is in purple, which means we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat. And we are both neutral. Both teams are neutral. So Richard Byer is going to bat off the chemistry chart. It's a 4-5. 4-5 says batting team harmony. No, we're not harmony. We're neutral. If we had been harmonious, he would have gotten a walk. Otherwise, it's a ground out to the infielder of our choice. So we're going to say since Richard is a right-handed batter, he's going to ground to short. And that will hold. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? I forgot that Paul Wisham was on base when Jerry Ball hit that double. So I need to go back and see if he scored on that double. My bad. So let's go back and check that out. The result, and it's all done by the lead die. So the result was a left fielder, let's see here, was left fielder gold. So it was a 3. Lead die was a 3. So let's see, lead die of 3. Base running. Runners advance 2 bases on any hit, single or double. Yep, so he had to stay. He was not... yeah, so Paul reached third on that double by Jerry Ball. Now on this one, a 4-5. A 4-5. Let's look and see what base running advancement says here, because the lead die was a 4. 4-5. Runners advance 1 base on ground out. So it's an RBI ground out for Richard Byer. So he does get the RBI. Paul Wisham will score. It is now 5-0. And Jerry Ball will scoot over to third. So maybe we'll say it was a 4-3 ground out to make it more realistic. 4-3 ground out. And now Jerry Ball is at third base with 1 out. And the Skiddy Marks will have to bring the infield in. So, get ahead of myself here. Earl is going to be batting with the infield in. And only 1 out. We get a 2-3-6. 2-3-6. 2-3-6. 2-3-6. Double control. No, he's not. Pitcher's not batting, so it's a walk. So Earl will walk to put runners at the corners with 1 out. And Espo is up with a chance. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Espo with a chance. Got to avoid the double play. 3-3-6. 3-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is Espo either sad sack utility or patient? And Espo is none of those. So Espo just singled to center field, and that will score Jerry Ball to make it 6-0. And that's probably going to be it for the starter for the Skiddy Marks, as Espo got a base hit. Lead die of 4 is a 2-base advancement, so Earl will motor over to third. It is now a 6-0 ball game. And we're going to have a pause here for a new pitcher for the Skiddy Marks, because we have put the hurt on Mr. Donnie Lee Gross. So, new pitcher, and we will be right back with a new pitcher. All right, new pitcher for the Skiddy Marks is Rocco Valente. He's a right-hander with semi-star qualities and double flash. Now, one caveat in this game is when a relief pitcher comes in the game, the very first batter he faces, he is an ace. So in this at-bat, he's an ace, semi-star, and double flash. So Tenacious Strat Earl Reed's going to have to face a fresh arm with some good qualities in this at-bat. Runners are at the corners. Only 1 out. And we'll see what Tenacious can do. It's a 2-5-6. 2-5-6. 2-5-6. Is he a struggler? No, he's not, because he just came in the game. Is he a champion or patient? No, Earl's neither one of those. But we do have infield drama again. So back to infield drama. This game does take you to the drama charts quite a bit, I do feel like. Maybe sometimes too much, but just my editorial opinion there. All right, here is the infield drama. It's a 1-5. 1-5, shortstop iron. No, the shortstop for them is Nelson. He's neutral. So it would have been a single had he been iron. Instead, smooth grab of bouncing ball, ground out. And on a lead die of 1, unfortunately, that is a double play. So Tenacious, unfortunately, hits into the 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. But that can happen to anybody. But 2 runs come across, so a 6-0 lead looks pretty good right now for Mr. Mark Dykeshorn to protect. 6-0 lead. Toby Gallus, the designated hitter, steps to the plate for the Skiddy Marks. They have their work cut out for them. It's a 3-3-6. So a 3-3-6. Ask, is he an ace? No, Mark's not an ace. Is he sad sack, utility, or patient? He is semi-utility. Decider Die says he's utility. So therefore, he's going to take a called strike 3. So that is 3 strikeouts in a row for Mark. He is on a roll. Definitely a hot pitcher right now. Here's Mo Wilkinson. And we get a 2-3-5 for Mark Wilkinson. A 2-3-5. Ask, is the pitcher wild? No, he's got control. Is he eager? Is the batter Wilkinson eager? No, he's not. So he's going to ground out to second. So it's a 4-3 ground out. 2 away very quickly as Mr. Mark Dykeshorn has settled into a good groove here. Here's McGrain. He got plunked his first time up. 1-3-5. That's the unusual play result. 1-3-5 is unusual result. When the black die is a 1, that means we check the ballpark qualities. So we're going to go to our ballpark mini chart. And we pull out, remember, Pimco is small on both ends. And McGrain is a semi-slugger. So we're going to check the ballpark results. They're small both ways, so that usually helps the batter. Let's see here, it's a 2-4. So a 2-4 says big ballpark. No, it's not a big ballpark. If it was, towering foul ball, plenty of room, caught for out. Otherwise, foul ball caught by fan near the third baseman, batter still at bat. So basically, the fact it's a small ballpark means we don't have a foul out, but Mr. McGrain gets to play again as that ball went in the seats. So we got another one. Look at that, back-to-back 1-3-5s. The black die is a 1 again, so we're right back to the ballpark chart. That's kind of weird. That can happen back-to-back like that. So let's try it again. And we get a 1-6. So this time 1-6, small ballpark. Yes, it is. Just clears left field foul pole, home run. So Don McGrain getting a little payback for getting plunked, and he takes Mr. Mark Dykeshorn deep because of the small ballpark. That certainly helped out. And the Skiddy Marks are on the board 6-1. Fortunately, it was just a solo shot, so it didn't hurt too badly. And there's still 2 outs. So here's Mayoshi. Mayoshi, a 2-2-4. So we go back to the book here on 2-2-4. 2-2-4, pitching at home. No, we're on the road, so that doesn't help us out. Is the batter a slugger? Mayoshi's a scrapper. He's not a slugger. But he's still going to single to right field, so that's a base hit. It's a base hit for Mayoshi. And that results in blue, so we're going to the right now chart. And since he gave up that base hit, he being Mark, is semi-cold. And he's facing Mose Reyna, who struck out his first time up, so he's semi-cold. So both batters are semi-cold, which means we need the decider die to see if they're cold. And they are. So both pitcher and batter are cold. It's a 1-2. 1-2, hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. So therefore, he's going to ground out to short. So he'll ground out to Paul Wisham to end the inning. And that's going to do it for the Skiddy Marks here in the 4th. We've completed 4 innings of play here at Pimlico Park, and the Stratville 9 comfortably in front 6-1 as Rocco Valente is in for his 2nd inning of work. He is now semi-fresh as a relief pitcher, and he'll be facing Randall Mark. And that is a 1-4-4. 1-4-4 asks, does he have flash? He's got double flash, so he certainly has flash. That's a strikeout. However, you see these little glasses here. The glasses say we go to check the umpire, because when there's glasses on a 1-4-4, a questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4. So the home plate umpire, if he's questionable or lenient, would make it ball 4. However, he's semi-questionable. Decider die says he's not questionable, so the strikeout will stand, unfortunately. And Randall is out. All right, here's Ron Bates. That's a 3-5-5 for Ron Bates. Oh, I had it right the first time. 3-5-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is he a champion? Ron Bates is not listed as a champion, so that skip that check. That means he grounds out to second, unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. So it's simply a ground out to second for out number 2. And that brings up Mr. Utah Mike Bose. And it's a 2-4-6. 2-4-6-8. Who do we appreciate? Does the pitcher have control? No, he does not. Is the batter eager or a sad sack? He is semi-eager. Decider die says he is eager. So therefore, he's going to pop it up to third, and that's going to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 6-1. And Travis Nelson, the number 9 hitter, will come up for the Skiddy Marks. And we get a 2-4-4. 2-4-4. Is he an ace? No. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not a champion. So he's going to ground out to short unless he's a whiffer. He is a semi-whiffer. Decider Die says he is a whiffer, so yet another strikeout for Mr. Dykeshorn. And he is racking up some Ks here all of a sudden. Got 5 strikeouts here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Nick Griffiths. He's 0 for 2. It's a 1-4-5. 1-4-5. Ask, is he a struggler? No. Batter is blank, so it's a ground out to third. So keeping Tenacious Strat busy over there, or keeping him awake over there with another ground ball. So there are 2 away. 2 outs, nobody on for Jude Brannon. And we get a 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, no. Our catcher, Mr. Utah Mike, is actually semi-gold, so no worries there. Does the batter have a good eye? No, Jude Brannon is actually eager and a whiffer. So therefore, he's going to strike out. So yet another strikeout. That is 6 strikeouts through 5 innings for Mr. Dykeshorn. And he is in control of this game so far. And we've played 5 complete with the score 6-1. Unfortunately, I've kind of had to... I was trying to go really slow so I could show all the results in the book and everything, and we're up to 46 minutes on the video. So I'm going to have to go ahead and stop this one and piece it together with the second one because I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time in the middle of an at-bat. So after 5 complete, we'll go ahead and stop the video here, and I'll pick it back up with the top of the 6, and that way we won't run out of video time. And I'll just piece these together when I put it on YouTube. So we'll be right back for inning number 6.